Hi everybody, this is Diane. I've been working on doing some prep work to complete these signatures. I have done the 3 signatures, all the pockets, and most of the inserts, I think, are done in the first journal that I'm doing. So I have some things prepped for these. So let's just get started. Let's not even just talk about it, let's work. So on the first page, the first cover of this signature, I have this pocket with the lace edge, and I have this is the cross stitch journal, so I have this piece that looks like a cross stitch design all ready to go. So I have this piece glued on already, and I'm gonna trim this edge off and round the corners that will be the opening part of the pocket. And I'm going to do some little thumb holes and then ink. Now, for this one, I did 2 thumb holes, and I glued down the middle so that there's 2 separate pockets. So let's do that with this also. So in order to get the thumb holes relatively spaced evenly, I had my centering ruler, here it is. I'll mark it on the back. No, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to punch out where I mark. So looks like 4 1/4 puts 0 in the middle, which is where I want it, of course, and I don't need to mark there. So I'm going to make a little mark there, because that's going to be my new edge. So now I need to put the 0 in the middle of this section. And that's 2 1/8. So that's where the punch will be. And I just want to, come close. So then I use my 1 1/4 inch circle. Just put it down part way with the line centered as well as I can by eyeballing it. And then I like to just round those edges off. And ink it. I have this one all set for the other journal, but we're not going to do that on camera here. So I'll put glue around the 3 edges, the sides and the bottom of the pocket, and then I'll put a little line of glue down the center of the pocket. And then I'll have to get some little tags to put in that pocket. Now while we're on this cover page, let's do the back. So this is the glassine bag. And I cut a piece of the digital from Tailor Made Journals that is called French Embroidery Magazine, or Pages, or all of the above. So it's just embroidery transfer designs, or it was from a magazine, so they're magazine pages, and they are embroidery designs. So ink this up and just glue it to the page, or to the envelope, And then I'll add a bit of ribbon to it to decorate it. And I think I did this on video with the first journal. I think I remember deciding where to put the ribbon. But bear with me as I do the same thing again. And it was just this printed ribbon, just like in the other one. And then I'll just glue the pocket to the page. And to make the tag to go inside, I'm just going to use scraps of this lacy looking paper that I used for journal pages. And I cut it to 4 1/4 by 6 1/2, I think. I'm sorry, 3 1/4 by 6 1/2. So I'm going to make tags out of all of these because they'll make good bases. So I won't use them all in these journals, but I will use this one for this journal. Apparently I cut the tag a little bit wider than what my extra or my cutoff paper was. And I didn't do anything else. I think I'm going to leave it plain so that you have a spot to decorate if you want to. I'm going to cut it into a tag shape and put the reinforcer and some seam binding in it, but I'm not going to embellish that. So I guess tag shape first. These are a little bit grungy looking. I think they were white ones and I colored them. And I'm not sure what the colors were or how I added the little spots of green. But I liked the grungy look to them, even though these are not grungy journals. Just makes it look vintage. And they're not very sticky, so that's why I'm using glue. This is crinkled seam binding. And that is the cover page. I just have to add some tags there, and that's done. So next, I already added some velvet ribbon here. I believe that's vintage velvet ribbon. Very soft and beautiful. I love that lemony color. And I started this one. Again, I cut a piece of that digital, and I added, well, I sewed it to this cardstock, and I added some vintage tatting, and I'm going to let that just be loose, and rounded the corners. I have to see what goes inside that pocket. Oh, I don't have anything inside the pocket yet. And I'm going to show you the pocket that's going to go in the third journal, because it's a little bit different. Pocket's a little bit wide. Well, you can't really tell that it's not quite perfect, the rounding, because of that trim, so it looks fine. And that needs something inside. So with this one, this was a shaped piece on the digital, so I cut it out. It was long, so well, not that long, but it was long. I had to trim some off to fit it on the page. That one's quite a bit narrower than the other, but that's fine. I might as well just glue it down. It's all done. I already added the trim at the bottom, but I just wanted to show you, just because it was printed on the page with this deep V cut, I went with that for a fun shape to my pocket. I've done all the stamping and stenciling on all the pages, and that took me a long time. This one had a white strip on the edge of the page, and I used a velvet ribbon on the edge there, and that's not vintage. That came from Hobby Lobby. Okay, next I have this pocket. I wonder if I sewed this. I did. All right, so I'm going to go to my sewing machine and sew this lace down, but I'm going to just add a little glue to some of the darker spots that maybe the glue won't show through, to help hold it in place while I sew. So this is just a piece of vintage lace. I don't know how old it is. I got it at the flea market. And while I'm over at the machine, I might as well do this one, because I'm going to delete that part of the video anyway. All right, I sewed it, just sewed all the way around the lace and inked around the edges. And that's a little wide too. stitching is still there on the lace. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut more and re-stitch that one side. Okay, so what I did was I sewed around it, inked around it, and then realized this also was too wide. So I had to cut some off and stitch that edge again, finish inking it. Now I'm ready to glue it. And this will go in that pocket when it's dry. Wouldn't that be pretty? All right, here I have a digital doily, embroidered doily. That is a digital, I just said that. And I'm going to just glue that onto this flap. So that completes that signature. Now I think on the other signature I had more ready for this journal. Let's see. So this is another digital doily that I put on as a belly band. So I'll have to put something inside that. There's a pocket right here that's folded up. I think I'll go ahead and glue that. But I'll probably leave it empty. I don't know. I don't know yet. I still have to pull vintage items to put in some pockets, so I think this is the only page that I folded up like that. On this edge, I had that velvet ribbon as a tab on in the last journal or signature, but this is this roll of kind of a satiny thin material, and I have this one too, which I think I know I used it as a tab in the first signature. And I think these came in a bunch of lace, box of lace that I picked up at the flea market, but isn't that pretty? Champagne color, I love it. All right, here I embossed this piece of cardstock. So this is one of the pieces that I was thinking about using for the front cover until I changed my mind. So I'm going to make a pocket out of it, and I'm going to rub some antique linen on it. have to see it in here. Had to see what else I may have done. Okay, so guess I'll sew around this. And this is ready to be glued on as a pocket, but I want to add this on. I'm not sure what is not cut straight here, whether it's the panel. It might be the panel. Yeah, because it doesn't look straight. So this lace will fill in the space and also disguise that something's not straight. And it'll look pretty. And I had a journaling card. I had one card made, and I probably put it with the other signature. Let's see. Yeah. So I just took a piece of cream colored index card and a tissue paper iron-on transfer, glued them together. And I have this very wide lace. I'm going to just cut a little piece off and glue it on as a tab. And the glue will come through that lace, so I'm not going to stick that in the pocket quite yet, but that will go in there with this pretty lace sticking out. Now in the middle signature, I added an iron-on embroidery transfer envelope. So I don't know what or if anything will be inside the pocket. So this one will be a side loading pocket, and this was sold at F.W. Woolworth for 15 cents. And of course this one will have a top loading pocket. Where'd the little piece go? Thought I saw it drop into the envelope. I don't see it now. I think I need to do something to that pocket. Let's see if I have something prepped on here. Nope. All right, let's get the finished one and see what I did. Oh, I made another lace pocket. This is a satin and embroidered lace. And it is vintage. I want to show you how I did this. So first of all, I want to make sure I cut this to the right size so it's not too wide. And I'll cut it just a little bit deeper than the lace. Whoops. All right, that's almost 4 inches. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 flowers. I am going to sew this, but I'm making sure I glue the edges of those embroidered flowers because I'm not going to sew around all those curves. Gonna let them dry a little bit before I sew them, and these will be the tags that go inside those pockets. Let's see if I need to do anything else in this journal, this signature. Oh, these I already did. So this is a digital doily and the piece of the digital embroidery magazine pages. This is a genuine piece from an old magazine. I just put it on some ledger paper and tucked it in there. And this is also a genuine piece. So that looks kind of nice. They're all different on the backs. Oh, this one has a wide lace, satin lace pocket with, or not lace, it's a wide, it's this. Is this piece. And I had this sheer ribbon that's not, it's not straight, but I sewed it on. I thought it looked really cool like that. And I don't think I have, yeah, I don't have anything for the final signature, so I don't know if I'll do this or this. Okay, I think I've stalled long enough. I'm going to go sew these. Okay, so when I sewed around this, when I got up to this part, I just sewed a straight line right across there. So these parts are all glued down. Just going to trim off anything hanging over. And I'm going to trim the cardstock around the scallops. These go here. All right, now let's just go through the journal that I have completed. Well, it's not complete, but you know, all the pockets are in it. Just to see how many pockets we have. Well, first of all, we have a pocket on the front and the back of each cover. And I took, I don't know if I showed you this, but I took the piece from the vintage magazines and put them on cardstock, and just I'm tucking that in there. I don't have anything in the front yet. So on this signature we have one. It's a double pocket, but I'm counting it as one. Two. Two on the front half of the signature. There should be two in the front and two in the back. There's 3, 4. And I'm pretty sure that goes through all of the journals. 1, 2, there's a tuck spot. 3, 4. This one is also a double pocket. 2. Not counting the envelope, there's 2 more pockets in the center signature. 3, 4. So that's pretty good. I'm going to end it here. I am going to look for vintage greeting cards. I have to get the box of vintage greeting cards out of my office. And I'd like to put one in the first signature and one in the third. And the middle one will have the envelope pattern, embroidery transfer envelope. So they're coming along. They'll be done before you know it. My mother's coming over tomorrow to watch a long movie with me. She's going to watch the Wicked movie, and it's almost 3 hours. And I don't know how long she'll want to stay after the movie, but anyway, I wanted to get as much done on these as I could today. I'll work a little bit more before I call it a day. But I'm glad you came along to see the pockets being made, and maybe, who knows, maybe the next video will be the final flip through. I'll see you then, and have a creative day. Bye.